I hear so many people saying things like, oh, it's full of strong women. And I want to say, that's not strong women, that's just women. Women can do extraordinary things because they're human. The difficulty is they have been made to feel that it's an unusual thing because mainly people have not called on them to be extraordinary and they haven't wanted them to be extraordinary, but we are. I was captivated from when I was little by dancing, by music, by telling stories. By the time I was 12, I wanted to be a theatre director, and there were very few, if any, role models. When I went to university to study drama, I said I'm going to be a theatre director, and the all-male group of professors there kind of laughed, really, and they said, well, there are only 3 female directors in Britain. There's one who's a lesbian, one who's retired, and one who's just committed suicide. Which would you like to be? And it was so hostile, but it made me realize that you're constantly auditioning to prove that you're entitled to have that dream and make it real. Those words that make women feel insecure, they run very deep in society. Unless art and culture started committing itself to women and women's work, then we were just producing another generation of women who were experts in their field, if you like, reinforcing male stories. That's when I decided I was going to, as an artist, make a body of work which, in every single sense, was going to be questioning the place that women's stories have in art, culture, and in everyday civil life. I was the artistic director of the Southbank Centre for 12 years, and it's one of the biggest cultural centres in the world. So for a woman to be running that place as an artist is an incredible testimony to women's progress, and I was so proud. But there came a point when I loved it, but I felt the challenge of WOW Women of the World was even greater. I started WOW Women of the World Festival in 2010, and I wanted it to be a celebration of everything that girls and women had done, everything from being an astronaut, being a physicist, to also just some of the things that women have had to deal with around very, very traumatic areas of survival. It's about recognizing that between us all, we have a mutual responsibility to value our own story. We've stood on the shoulders of women who've gone before, who've got us education, who've got us the ability to not be property, and we've got to keep that fight going. The world is unfinished business. The one thing you've got is yourself. You are the agent of yourself. You have to give yourself the human rights that you're entitled to. You mustn't ask permission from yourself. You mustn't rein yourself in. What could be more marvelous than realizing your own human potential? That is an incredible thing to think about.